are on this call and all the people that take part in your events, and you've given opportunities, mentorship. And you also should mention, the Zimba Mart, where it's for women, by women. Yeah.
Yes.
But thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. So to start with, can you briefly take us through your background and just how you ventured into the journey of digital marketing?
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for logging in, for joining us. My name is Gloria Kemigisha. I prefer to be called Kemi. I didn't really venture into digital marketing per se. It actually found me. I have studied journalism and public relations and marketing from UCU, and I'm a trained journalist, actually. That's why I talk too much. And I just happened to find myself in a space where I adapted to technology, to using social media for good. Most of you may know me from all my 40/40 posts and work. And that's how I found myself using digital media. I was among the first people to run the 40/40 social media pages. So that's where I got sort of like my training from. Shout out to all the 40/40 people on the call. And then I started a business with my business partner, Esther Kalenzi. And we realized that this business was a side business. So we all had full-time responsibilities. And the best tools that were available at the time that were free of charge were digital platforms, at social media, email marketing, and all the rest. Yeah. So that is how I found myself in the digital marketing space. And over the past, I think 7-8 years, I found myself having to sell people's products, having to campaign for people, not politically, but for the work that they're doing, with making retweets, bringing attention of people in my, in my groups, in my circles, people who follow me, to be aware of the things that I'm interested in, that they could be, interested in. So that's how I found myself in the digital space.
Wow, great! I love that you say it found you, especially the period we're in now. For anyone who is having a business that they weren't maybe marketing online before, this definitely has to be that time to get on board. So in your opinion, what does digital marketing entail? Like, what is digital marketing and what does it entail? Briefly.
Okay. Before I go on, could you please mute Cobblestone? Someone from Cobblestone, just mute.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I just got distracted. Could you just repeat the last question, please?
So I was asking, in your opinion, what is digital marketing and what does it entail? Like, maybe for someone starting out with a small business, what do they need to know about digital marketing and what it's all about?
All right. So digital marketing. First of all, you need to understand that before digital marketing, there was something else that happened before that. It's what is most commonly known as traditional marketing, the one where we use radio, you hear radio adverts, there's big billboards, there's TV adverts, and magazines, all that. That was traditional marketing. But soon we started having e-zines, those are e-magazines. We started having websites with adverts, how you click on let's say New Vision website, you'll see a big banner for MTN. That started the trend for digital marketing through websites. And then there was the rise in social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, which hasn't really worked for ads, but most people are using that to channel their products.
Yeah.
And then email marketing. So right now, if you are new in this space, or maybe you have been running a traditional business where you go to work, open your doors and sit and wait for customers to walk in, I think you're probably wondering, how am I going to get people to know that I'm still in business? How am I going to get my products moving? How am I going to grow my business in times of COVID? Well, digital marketing it's really not rocket science, but it takes a lot to understand. It is very complicated in its own nature, in that as much as we have all the social media platforms and we have all the websites available, you need to understand what works for you and for your audience, what works for your business needs. You don't just see, hey, Cafe Javas is big on Twitter, also now we are big on Twitter. No, you have to understand, are you also selling food like Cafe Javas? Or you're probably selling clothes. Clothes work well with pictures. Go to Instagram. So digital marketing covers a broad base, and I hope we can be able to cover something very specific. But if you're new to this space, don't worry, probably write some notes. You just need to understand that you have to tailor make it, and it takes time to grow this. It's like having a baby. Baby doesn't wake up and just start running. You don't wake up and think, oh, I'm going to pay Gloria to run my social media pages. Her business kange kakule. I want to see 20,000 followers in a month. That is not going to happen. If you want that, we can pay for it. Yes, you can pay for it. By the way, if someone has told you they can grow a business on social media like that, the following you'll get is probably guys from Indonesia, guys from India. People are not going to even come and order for Otio. Yeah. So take your time. Don't panic. Don't be worried that, oh, I have only 3 followers. No, don't worry. Things take time. These things take time. So that is about digital media for newbies. Don't worry about it. You have to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
So I guess they have to do research, extensive research, and look into.
You have to do. Yes. So for instance, let's have a case industry. Let's say, for instance, give me an example of a business that we can work with today.
We can work with
that's
struggling
to grow. Okay, let's say Zimbermat. Yeah. So Zimbermat, Melissa and Sherry have sat down and they're like, guys, we need to grow Zimbermat. It's not getting as much traction. But however, let's say, for instance, Zimbermat was primarily a store with a location in Mutasa Cafero Plaza. Mutasa Cafero is still locked. It's not a mall, it's an arcade. So it's still locked. So now Zimbermat has to go online completely. You have built your website. You know who your people are. Zimbermat is for women-owned businesses. But are you marketing it to women-owned businesses? Are those women-owned businesses currently aware that this is something that they can recommend to their friends? So what should Zimbermat do? Zimbermat should first, of course, you've already done your research. You're trying to build something for women. But have you actually advertised? Now, this is where it becomes interesting. There are so many free tools available online. For instance, you can go to Facebook and use Facebook to do your research. There is on Ad Manager, there's something called Facebook Insights, where you type in something and it will give you your demographics. And that's how you run Facebook ads for Zimbermat, targeting female-owned small-scale businesses. And that's how me, as Kemi from House of Penda, I will see the advert.
Yeah.
Number 2, that's Facebook advert. Number 2, you've seen some sponsored posts on Twitter. You can do that. But remember, Twitter, if you have sponsored posts on Twitter, they cost much more. If you're going to spend $2 on an advert on Facebook, Bambi, Twitter is not for reasons. Twitter costs much more money. You'll need to have a budget of about $100 to run adverts on Twitter. Then, number 3, before you waste your time doing all these adverts, do you have content? Yeah?
Sure.
So Zimbermat, I'm talking about Zimbermat because I'm someone who's passionate about it. And House of Penda, yes, this is an advert, but House of Penda is going to be on Zimbermat soon because we're waiting for more stock to arrive so that we have stock. Yay. So please check out Zimbermat. But Zimbermat needs to have content. It doesn't make sense for someone to see an advert, they click on it, it takes them to your Facebook page, and there's nothing to find. You've seen those people, especially on Instagram. You see an Instagram ad, you click on it, and you go, and their page has coming soon. So why are you advertising if it's coming soon?
True.
As in, like, it's so heartbreaking. You're spending money. You're spending money saying, when you're in lockdown, we've been hearing these guys who have stopped selling markets, so they put Lumonde on the wheelbarrow. They pass Lumonde, 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 shouting. So imagine you're at home, you hear the guy, you run out, and you find he's screaming that his wheelbarrow is empty.
Yeah.
How would you feel? Yeah. So content is king. Don't just be advertising, guys, come to my page, I'm selling this and this. And then I come to your page and I see no posts. I don't even see a contact number. So this brings me to the other important aspect of digital marketing. Content. Clients can know when you don't know what you're doing. That is the truth. That's the truth. Let's say, for instance, I go to the Zimbamat Facebook page. Yeah, I've seen the advert. I'm like, oh, this is something I'm interested in. Something for women, by women. Oh, yay. Yeah. So, and it's free of charge. What? Yeah. I click on it. So I come to your Facebook page, and all I see is a post that was put Happy Women's Day in 2018. This is June 2020. What do you mean? You're not current, you're not up to date, things have changed, you've not even posted anything to do with COVID. Like, you're not following trends, you're not watching what's going on with the world, you're not tailor-making your product. Because right now, Zimmerman should be big, everyone is trying to go online, so you should be pushing to show that you are, following trends and you are personalizing to the current global situation. Because like everyone has been saying, adapt or die. So content is king. Have content. But what kind of content? Now, for instance, case in point, Zimbamat. If, let's say, I, as a proprietor of House of Penda, I come to your page and I'm not seeing anything and I'm, curious what's going on. So, of course, when you come and see a page, you will see others like it at the bottom. Those are the things that it's called an algorithm. So you'll probably see House of Penda there, and you click on House of Penda, and you'll go and see posts from House of Penda being posted by our amazing intern. Shout out to our intern, she's on the call. And you will see the posts are consistent. There's consistent updates to the pages across the board. There is consistently following the trends. Is it Women's Day? There is something about women. Is it something about trends? Is it something about the weather? Because our products are mostly sunglasses and spectacles like the ones I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So what do we talk about? Are we being seen as thought leaders in this space? For instance, if you're trying to show that, let's say you're trying to sell a product that helps people sleep better at night. Are you sharing research proven that this product works? Are you sharing thoughts on numbers of people who are suffering from sleep loss because of mental illnesses, because of job loss and all, hysteria? What is your product selling? What problem are you trying to solve? Post this content. If you don't know this information, let's say like you are a reseller. Let's say, for instance, Melissa is a reseller and she wants to join Zimbamat, but she doesn't know where to start. Let's say Melissa owns kids' shoes. She sells kids' shoes. Or Subulawari, a China, no later no Crocs Wavana, and you want to sell them, but you don't know how to sell them. Talk about how kids are not going to school anymore. Talk about how it's good for the kids to walk around and play, but kids can't play in sneakers. They have to be wearing comfortable shoes like Crocs. Like, be relevant. So when you're sharing content, don't just wake up and say, because Javas is saying free delivery, now when Melissa or Wabu Crocs war, or 20 or 15K, you're also going to say free delivery.
Yeah.
That won't work. Understand what content you're sharing that is relevant to your business. Yeah. Most people, especially ladies, are stuck. You find like your competition decides to wake up and say, this month we're doing free deliveries. And you're under so much pressure, you're like, why am I not doing this as well? But think about it. Javas has an established address, an established customer base. You are Melissa of Crocs Zavana. You live in Chitukutwe,
Yeah.
where borders don't even want to come. I am in Najanankumbi Zana. Let's say Zana. You see how far it is? That's from Nigeria to Zana. And I tell you, I want Crocs and I want one pair. And then you're telling me free delivery. Of course, I'm going to come and buy, but it's going to hurt your business. That's why you find yourself not growing.
Yeah.
So look at what your competition is doing and try and, replicate. Yes. Next, don't just wake up and say, oh, let me try influencer marketing. My friend, you can't get who is the let me see the most radical person. Let's say Timothy Kalejira.
Okay.
Yeah, who? Sorry?
Kashuma?
Sheila Gashumba.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, let's say Sheila Gashumba. Yes, she's a lady, she's doing her thing, she's just have a business. You're like, hey, if Sheila bought Crocs for her nephews and nieces, this would be good marketing for me. Yes, that's all good. But what if Crystal Newman, who has kids, bought the shoes from you, not got them for free, got her kids to play in them, took pictures and said, oh, I bought these amazing Crocs. My kids have loved them. They've lasted longer than most of the ones I bought. Shout out to Melissa of Crocs Zavana business. I got them via Zimbamat. So those are adverts happening from influencer marketing. Don't just get some random person who has 20,000 followers on Twitter, who is always talking about how vidula happen in bars. To talk about Crocs for kids. Like see what kind of influencers you are attracting to your brand. I'm not saying that they're wrong kind. Maybe they purchase and shout out for you, but don't let that be a relationship you want to be tied to. Let it be relevant. Relevance is key. Content is key. So you have to be consistent with your content. First, build some base of your own. Get your over 20 followers, but post consistently. At least have a schedule. You say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have to share something. I have to throw shout outs. If a customer gives me feedback, you can share it because that's a big, and use WhatsApp. Do you know that WhatsApp status marketing is now almost surpassing Twitter marketing? Because it's more personal. Someone will take a screenshot of something I've shared on my status at 10 a.m. The next thing I know, it's in 5 groups by, 2 p.m. And next thing I know, someone's like, oh, I saw this somewhere. Is it still available? Things like that. So content is key. Relevant content is key. When you have built some sort of content and built some sort of customer base, now you can run adverts. Let the customer come and find some stock. Don't come and tell me, now, I have Crocs for sale. Then you advertise. Then I come to you, say out of stock. I had 2 pairs left. Advertise when you have a container. You understand? So yeah, that's about digital marketing. As long as you be consistent, if you hire someone, if you don't know how to do it, look for a professional. Look for companies that can train you. I attended a webinar where Cahill Insights was saying they do these trainings for business owners. Most business owners are now trying to cut out the costs of having social media managers. If you think you have the versatility to learn right now and do it yourself, go to Cahill Insights. It's a female-owned business and they have good rates. Or you can hire them to do it for you because they are professionals and they've done this for a while. So yeah, that's just about it.
Okay. So what I personally understand is that before you even, it should be a very well thought out process. You don't just wake up one morning and you're like, okay, I think I need a Facebook page and you don't have content. But so for someone who is just starting out, what are the most critical steps they can take towards that direction?
Okay. So we talked about content.
Yeah.
Now, if let's say there are 2 types of people who are starting out. There are people who have been in Chipuwo, they have their shop, people come to them and buy, and now COVID has come, it's a pandemic, that whole place is locked up. Then there are those other people who they've lost their jobs and now they're looking for a business to start out. So either way, before you start any business, I always tell people, before you start any business, find out what do you love to do. Kwanga, you're not going to get your little savings and invest in something you have no idea about and you're not willing to to learn about, do your research about. Yeah. So before you start, before you even go online, before you even think about creating a business profile on social media, you need to understand who is your customer. Is your customer the kind of person who will come and fight with people in Kavuyo, in Owino, and come to Hang Mall, a third floor, and sweat and try on different tops?
Yeah.
Or is your customer a 24-year-old young associate lawyer who sits at Trenzori Towers in SC and tells you to deliver? And then she'll try on and then bring back later. You need to know who your customer is. Then, second thing, what is your niche? What is separating you from everyone else? Like in COVID, in the last 3 months, I think almost everyone in my social circle has tried to bake a banana cake. Epic fail, including myself. So you can't wake up and say, I baked it once and I baked a cake using 3 bananas. It turned out good, so I'm now going to make cakes. Honey, no, Bambi.
Yeah.
Find out, what is your competition doing? What makes your banana cake more special than anyone else's? You understand? What is the value addition that you're giving to customers for them to stop going all the way to Melissa's bakery in Chanja, but to order from you who's in Entebbe? Do you understand? So find out who your customer is. What makes your product stand apart? There are many brands of water, but everyone knows Bogenda ku kaduka obuza Renzori. Actually, you may not even ask for water. You say, do you have Renzori? Because that's the kind of marketing they have done for themselves as a brand. They've established themselves as a brand. Number 3, what problem does your product or service solve? For instance, guys who have been doing people who have been in the travel industry, in the last 2-3 years, we've seen a rise in smaller businesses that do tailor-made trips, small groups, like things that other older companies were not doing before. So those people were solving a problem of traveling on a budget.
Yeah.
But now you, as Melissa, you're like, I've traveled here. So what business solution, what solution is your business providing apart from what everyone else is doing? Because your competition is not just the small companies. Your competition is Amos Wekesa, who goes and sits on TV and talks about his brand. Now, who's going to hear about you and your super custom van? You understand? So you can say that me, in my super custom, these are trips I've taken before. I will drive you myself. I'm not going to give you to a driver who will abandon you. Or let's say I own some of these lodges I'm taking you to. The same, you see what Wekesa does? Just turn it down to a small scale and you will tailor make yourself to that group.
Yeah.
You understand? So who is your customer? What does your customer like? What problem are you solving? And lastly, what is your price? So just because you've seen House of Fender, putting, guys, get more hair rings at 20K, you're like, hey, I'll get them. I'll sell them at 25K. My friend, first do your market research. Are your customers willing to spend that kind of money? 2, how much are you going to spend to get that product? Some people most often rush into business thinking that, I have 5 million capital, let me start a business. You'll find that you will spend so much money on establishing the business with overhead costs, shipping products, establishing branding, paying rent and everything else, that you forget about the key thing called marketing. Then you remain with let's say 500,000 or 200, and you come to Kemi, you're like, I see you're big on Twitter. Now I'm going to give you 200K. You get me customers. I want sales to happen. It's not often that social media attracts as many customers as most people think. Sometimes it's a little magic called engagement. So if someone comes to you and says, I'll get you numbers, I'll get you followers, very few followers are authentic enough to be turned into customers. Case in point, you will find a product, you find some guy makes beds in Katwe.
Mm-hmm.
He has a Facebook page which has been linked to his Instagram, and he has like 20 likes. But the work he does is so good that although his customers don't come and like his page, they are sending customers through WhatsApp. Then they'll take pictures of his work and market it on their WhatsApp because they don't have time to go on social media. So as you say, oh, I want to establish my business, I want to start out, make sure you understand how much money you have put aside for digital marketing, because you may have to run ads, you may have to pay someone to come and run your page professionally. So find out what your niche is, yes, what your product is solving or service, what price you're setting it at, and how much money you put aside to run your marketing. So that's my advice before you actually venture into this.
Okay, great. So I've always been curious, how do I find my audience? Because I've heard you mention there's a part using Facebook. If you go to the demographics part, is this one of the techniques to find like my audience? Because you have all this content, but it's not going to the right people. I don't think it's really fruitful.
So finding your audience works in different ways for whatever medium you're using. Luckily enough, Facebook guys have been generous enough to give such amazing tools that are free of charge. For instance, the ads manager, where you can get Facebook insights to get to know your demographics, to get to know what hobbies are your customers like what are your customers' hobbies, what brands do they follow. So if, let's say, you want to run, something I'm more familiar with is Facebook ads. If, let's say, you want to run Facebook ads, I always advise that you wait for at least 2 to 3 months before you start running Facebook ads, when you've established your page presence, you have some content, you have gotten a learning of how Facebook works, not for personal space, but for a business. So when you go to the ads manager on Facebook, you can always type in, let's say for instance, what product? Let's say you're selling lipstick in Kampala. Yeah, you can always type in lipstick, and it will show you the people who are often searching about lipstick. It will show you their age group. It's usually about between 20 to 35. It will also show you their regions. It will show you Kampala is like the biggest circle. It will show you somewhere in Gulu, somewhere in Bara. So these are the things that you'll use when you click to run adverts. So you target those specific age groups, you target those specific areas. And also, you can't just go and say, I want to run an advert on Facebook, and then you're here in Kampala, you want your buyers to be from Kampala, and then you're setting the people to buy from you, from Nebi, from Kabale, like tailor make your adverts. So Facebook does that. Okay. And sometimes some companies run trainings on how you can do this. You can always look them up and see how to do it. However, the other way you can find your audience is to do a simple survey. Just put a survey on your page and ask people, would you be interested in this product? What price range would you pay? There is something amazing called search engine optimization. You know how you Google, most times we're often, let me Google it, yeah? Then you type into your phone or your computer. So search engine optimization, how it works, because now the description is quite hard for me right now. When you type into the Google search bar and you say female startup Uganda, female startup Uganda, what comes up first? When you're designing your website, and you always tell the team that's designing your website to always include search engine optimization, so that every time someone searches, they include these as keywords. When someone looks up female startup Uganda business, because most people type random words, to ensure that I hear a chicken and I'm distracted. Sorry, I keep hearing a chicken. Okay. Can you mute everyone, please?
Rachel, can we please have
search engine
video and audio off? Thank you. Yes,
So I'm
Gloria,
saying,
carry on.
so search engine optimization, the way it works is when you implement these embed these keywords as you're designing your website, as when you use hashtags, these are the things that come up first when someone is looking for something in Uganda. For instance, if you search for cow, of course, no one owns rights to owning a cow. Cows will come up, but news about cows comes up first because when people are writing news, they always embed keywords in their websites. Hence, when you say newspaper Uganda, you will see New Vision and Monitor are fighting because those are leading dailies. But there was a time when Red Pepper had figured this out before these guys. So when you search newspaper Uganda, Red Pepper will come up like at the top of everything else. So that was key search engine optimization. But like as I was saying, if you, let's say you are entering a space where there are too many people doing the same business, for instance, mineral water, how do you stand out? Yes? Yes, search engine optimization is free, but at a certain point, if you want to pay some companies, so there are companies, the digital companies that actually do this, you can pay them a certain fee and look it up. But most times it's free. You just have to tell your website developer to embed keywords into your website. For instance, there's a company I know that does car tracking. So when you search car tracking Uganda, right now, if you do it, you're going to see sales up tracking comes up first because they did search engine optimization and I was one of the consultants on that project. Oh, so that's a shout out for them. So guys, if you have a car and you need a tracker, do that. So search engine optimization, using Facebook Insights, all that works. On Twitter, if you want to market your product, use hashtags. But most people I've seen, most novices have a habit of jumping onto hashtags. It is so rude. For instance, you find a company, let's say Black Lives Matter is trending. Okay, Black Lives Matter is such a sore topic right now. Let me look for what was trending the other day. Someone give me an example. Yes.
Stay safe, UG.
Oh. Stay safe, UG. Yes, Charity, I'm going to come to that. So Stay Safe UG was, so you see, your business has nothing to do with safety. Your business has nothing to do with health. Let's say you're selling mascara, yeah? How do you find a way of jumping onto a hashtag that is not going to make you look bad? If you're selling mascara, tell guys, you can make it a funny way to write your caption. You say, you can still look good while you stay safe. Hashtag stay safe UG. Then you put a picture of nice eyelashes with mascara and a mask on. That's a nice way to jump onto a hashtag bandwagon. However, if you're talking about beer and you're selling beer and you're saying, let's go to the bar, guys, hashtag stay safe UG, but it rubs people a certain way. It's so irrelevant. Yeah. It's like jumping onto the Grand Prix. You're in Kampala, Otunda headscarves. What has that got to do with the Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi? You understand?
Yeah.
Then also, if you have to understand what keywords are aligned with your brand. If let's go back to Zimbamat. Zimbamat, hashtag business, hashtag women owned, hashtag female business, hashtag entrepreneurship. You can have all these, any forms of the keywords embedded on your website. When you post things, you can put the different hashtags at the bottom of your post on the website. That's how you get search engine optimization cost-free. However, if you want like expertly done, you're competing with the likes of Nike, Adidas, that's another expert, because that one is for paid for consultations and stuff. Yes. So then you have to understand language. What language are you using for what platform? For instance, Instagram is big on hashtags. Leo Sango Muntu, like Melissa, who owns her Crocs business, putting hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag Nike one for all, hashtag good lives over what, hashtag calories matter. As in, no, keep it simple. Put a nice post of a kid wearing Crocs, smiley, happy, or a mother or someone purchasing them, and you say, happy customer, looking forward to serving you, a sale coming up. then you have your own hashtag for Crocs Zavana. That can be your hashtag. So that when someone is looking for Crocs, it comes up somehow. So you have to identify what language. Then if it's Twitter, don't come to Twitter and make a post about how you're selling Crocs, and then you tag at Gloria K. So you can tag in the image, although most people have disabled that feature, but it's so, it makes the post so busy. It makes the post so busy, where you find Melissa of Crocs Zavana is posting a picture of Crocs, and then she puts Crocs on sale. Then she tags at that Kemi, at Zimba Women, at UN Women. Oh, at UN Women. Okay, I know I know where you're going with it, but what does UN Women got to do with Crocs, man?
Yeah.
Yeah? Then you see them tagging at Kaguta Museveni. Guys, you know?
You're just starting out with your 2 pairs.
Aha. Then you go to this person's profile and they have 2 posts. Yeah, and yet they joined Twitter in 2016. So you have to understand what language works where. On Facebook, though, Facebook is like the mother of social media, really. Facebook, you can even do a video header, you can have posts, you can engage people, you can have a poll, you ask people which pair looks better. Is it the blue? Is it the yellow? Get opinions, build engagement. So sort of like understand what language works for what. And the best thing is you can merge all your social media platforms now, even WhatsApp, because it asks you if you want to put it on your Facebook story. And then you have Instagram, then you have Twitter. But understand the language. The same way all these hands, all these fingers on the hand, they're all important, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
So don't use the same thing across all. You have to learn and understand the language.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for that. I hope we are writing down, because I believe there are very key points Gloria is pointing out. So what is one of the most common misconceptions people have with digital marketing that maybe you have found?
Interesting. Just this week, I've seen, I think it was Fresh Features, where Paul Spoha was asking people to talk about what their biggest problem was with running an online business. And everyone said customers who come and ask you for a price if the post has a price, or people who keep asking you, then they come back. And so it was just a very common nuance, yeah? Guys were complaining about the customers. But if there are no customers, then you have no business, guys. If you're running an online business, the most common thing I have learned, that my business partner and I have learned over these years, is customer care is the best love language when you're running an online business. For instance, let me give you a scenario of when a customer comes and says, "Hi, I've seen you have spec. I want to come to your shop right now. This is 5:30 p.m. I want to come to your shop." This was even before curfew. Where are you? Are you open? Can I call? Hi, of course you respond, "Thank you for contacting House of Thunder. We are an online delivery-based business." What? How does that work? So of course, you see how I'm reading the person's text? Yes? How about if I change the tone and I say, and the person, same message, "Hi, I've just seen your message. I'm in town right now. Where is your shop located? Can I come?" Do you see the difference? Same text, but it depends on how you read it, especially if you're the Mutunzi baby. The customer is king.
Yeah.
Because you've not met the customer has taken their time to send you a DM or send you a message on WhatsApp. Please, the biggest misconception we have is that we think everyone is out to get us, yet without their money, we would not have a business in the first place.
Yeah.
Number 2, the other misconception is that we don't trust our customers. If you don't build trust, how are you going to survive? You've put them on a safe border, they've left Zana, and they're going all the way to Namugongo And the customer reaches there and says, oh, this is the wrong shade of blue. You guys,
I can imagine.
I tell you, this is real life. A customer actually told me this is the wrong shade of blue. And I'm like, but the pictures are online. These are the pictures we've been sharing. Yes. Someone once asked for, there was an argument a few years ago of someone who wanted an offsite. Guys, sorry. Baby, I'm on a call. Okay? Okay? Okay, thanks. Sorry guys, my kid just woke up. So, where was I? Yes, someone tells you a wrong shade of blue. But I sent you pictures. Imagine you already posted the delivery fee coming from Zana to Namgongo. So which means the border guy has to bring back the product to you. Who is meeting that cost? You understand? And then the other thing, delivery charges. You guys, when you're running an online business, people will say, there's a funny thing I saw last night where there are two pictures. One says wine glasses at $20, delivery $5. And people are like, eh? And again, Sasura, who's going to pay that delivery fee? Yeah. Then another post says, wine glasses, $30, free delivery. And the person has made 20 orders already. So you see the difference? So those are some of the biggest misconceptions. Would you rather charge a higher price and incorporate a delivery fee? Or would you charge a less price and charge delivery based on destination? Yeah. Because other bigger companies do that. I've never ordered anything off Amazon and not had to first clear the cart. You pay taxes, you pay shipping, you pay simanyabichi. All of them, they charge your credit card before that product leaves the warehouse. I don't understand why we can't do that here in Uganda and we can't build that trust. Because do you know why? Because most business owners, when a client says, I'm not happy with the product, they'll tell them, you die with it. So, yeah, they'll say, you die with it. No, I don't want. You see, that one customer that you've treated like trash, that you've refused to acknowledge that they're not happy with your service or product, that you've not compensated them, yes, die with it. That one person is going to go to Twitter. One post like this, and your hard earned time and energy and focus will kill your brand. We have all seen that chicken from Capital Kitchen. You guys, the comments, people are so brutal. People are idle. And they'll do anything to bring a brand down. So please, if you noticed, the owner of Capital Kitchen, Nazir, created an account last night, and was it last night? Today is Friday. On Wednesday night, the account said joined June 2020. So please, he went out of his way, contacted Esther, had a meeting with her, compensated her. And because Esther was happy, she was not under any obligation, she came back to her original tweet and said, oh guys, so this has happened, they'll do better, things like that. So we wait and see. It's the little things. If people say that your customer care is bad, no matter how nice your product is, Simanyambu, you're not the target market. Guys, let no one lie to you. There is a target market for everyone and everything. That is why you see the likes of the Giraffe Man are still open. Then there's the likes of Serena, not Serena Chigo, but you know the Serenas that you see in Bushenye, where they say Serena Hotel, then they give you chai in a flask. So there's a target market for every business. Just don't be worried about it. Avoid all those misconceptions. As long as you market yourself as a person who is here to solve a problem and provide a service that you trust, a service that you would use yourself, there's nothing wrong. So those are the misconceptions that I have discovered and we've had to work through with every experience.
Okay. So basically with online marketing, customer care goes a long, long way. Just following up with people and their complaints and issues,